I really don't have anything to report, but something we probably ought to address because of the fact that we could have rolling blackout this evening in our meeting. If the timeline follows what it did this morning, this could happen between 6 and 7 o'clock. If this were to happen, do we want to just pick the meeting back up 30 or 40 minutes later when the power comes back on, or we want to schedule another date and time? Something we probably need to think about, and I know it's not on the agenda, but we need to think about it. Now, they're saying 30, 35, 40 minutes later, the power should be back up, but then I've also seen on TV where there may not be another blackout tonight, but there's no guarantee. So I guess we can move forward, and if it happens, then we'll address it. I'll have to get on the phone with Natalie, and we'll try to get something addressed, and we'll figure out how we can do it. Okay. Does that sound all right?
Yes.
Yes.
It's not something we normally have to deal with, but anyway, here we go. Okay, with that, let's get on to our reports, and Ms. Gillard, you're up.
Okay, so I will just say if we are able to move through the agenda very quickly, maybe we won't have to deal with a rolling blackout. So tonight we have Mr. Joshua McVeigh, our Director of Public Relations, and he's going to present his marketing report or a presentation he put together. And I just want to commend Josh for all the changes he's made at the college with respect to marketing and recruitment. He's done a wonderful job, and without further ado, I'll let his work speak for itself. So Josh, if you'd like to present at this time.
Well, thank you very much, and I appreciate the opportunity to be able to share. And I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so that everybody can follow along with the presentation, and we will move into that. Can you confirm that you can see the screen and it's a full screen for you?
Yes.
Yes.
Wonderful. So to begin, we just want to talk about the marketing report for the last year, and I want to go over some things that we've done with brand exposure and the way we've gotten our name out there as an organization, and then what we're moving towards in the future. It's really important that our foundation is with the community of Tucumcari, and that we want to invest in Tucumcari. We love our community very much, and make sure that that is a foundational part of what we're doing for our marketing. And we invest in our students, the high school, of course, and other community organizations. I'm also a part of the committee that's working on rebranding or branding for Tucumcari and doing marketing for them as well. And I volunteer my time in that way, again, so that we can help the community of Tucumcari out. But I just want to emphasize how important Tucumcari is to us, and that with our marketing and our investment there, we are investing in Tucumcari as a foundation, of course, for our marketing. I wanted to talk about our reputation as well, how we're building that reputation, what we're doing with our Google Ads, what social media looks like, and then our online collection and communication. The collection is of the data that we're collecting from prospective students and hopefully moving them into becoming students in the future. And then we'll talk a little bit about the budget here at the end. So to begin with, I want to start with reputation. And the way that's done is by feature articles that are done in different magazines and different publications across the state and the nation. The first one you see there is for the actual high school national finals rodeo that we were a part of, and that's the ad that we had there. And then the second one is with the New Mexico Stockman publication, and that's actually a featured article that we did. I worked with Dr. Senius on this to build this publication, and then they did a feature of us in their magazine. The Mesalands there for the Cowboy Arts, you see the young man riding the bronc, that was actually in the National Finals Rodeo. We were able to have an opportunity to put an ad in their program, which has a readership of over 500,000 nationwide. And it was just a great opportunity for us to be able to put ourselves out there. And then we have there at the bottom, we also have, I believe that's the rodeo news is where we put that publication at, they actually gave us 2 pages where we were able to put our information out there. And we used the article that we used in the New Mexico Stockman for that one as well. So those are some great ways for us to build reputation. And these are known for building the reputation, and so that people have better knowledge about us as a training facility and as a college, and what we're able to do and provide out there nationally. I was in contact before the pandemic with NBC Nightly News. A producer had contacted me, and we were in negotiations to have a series, national series with them about our WIN program. They were actually going to follow some of our students who had graduated, and then meet some students that we had that were training, and then of course graduation. But of course, because of the pandemic, that was put on hold. I'm continuing to communicate with the producer, and I'm hoping that that's something that we can do in the future, pick that back up later when the pandemic isn't just the only thing that's on national news, right? But those are some opportunities. We also had interviews done with Amarillo News, Channel 4. They interviewed Dr. Encinius as well. And that had to do with our horses that we're adopting and that we're working with the Carson National Forest. And so a lot of opportunities for us to get exposure. Then on top of that, our Google ads have been very important for us to develop and to make sure that our keywords are showing up across marketing venues across the internet so that people can see us. So for the past year, since January, I've been having conversation with Google and working on better keywords and better strategies and ads that we're doing in marketing there. Calls and conversions. So what I want to illustrate right now is the difference that we're seeing based on the work that we were doing. So when we're looking at calls, we can actually monitor the calls as people click on our ads to call us. We can actually keep track of how many people are calling us, or how many students or individuals are calling us through those ads on the Google ads that we are putting out there. So our clicks have increased from 4,039 to 8,004. Now this is monthly. This is how many clicks that we're getting on our ads per month. All conversions, and that means that people spend time on our website as well, has increased from 37 conversions to 4,433 conversions. And that's, again, monthly. The average cost per click has decreased from 89 cents to 65 cents. And that happens because they're more effective. People are seeing them and they're clicking on them, which means it's more effective. So we're getting more bang for our buck. The click-through rate is also a very high percentage there as well. Click-through rate means that people click on our ads and then they go to our website. So if they see something, then they click on it and they follow through. It's click-through. So that's increased from 1.4% to 14.94%. And again, this is all based off of working with the advertising that's done through Google so that the keywords are being put in front of people and that they're then converting from those. Some further conversions, the conversions have increased from 28 to 424. Now this conversion is the percentage of people who can see our ads after searching for one of our keywords. So they, not just is it put in front of them, but also they've searched for one of the keywords that we've been working with. And those keywords include dinosaur museum, silversmithing, also rodeo. So I'm using different keywords with our programs that then put our institution in front of them so they click on it. And that's increased from 10% to 53%. The cost per conversion in that situation on average, so to get someone to convert, which means that we end up getting their information from a landing page, the cost has decreased. So at one time it cost us $127 to get someone to click on it. Now it's $12 because it's so much more efficient and more effective in what we're doing. Prior to this, we were getting maybe 2 or 3 landing page. So a student will click on our landing page and then give us their email address and they'll tell us what they're interested in. We were seeing on average 2 per 3 months. Now we've seen exponential growth in that area, as I've been illustrating to you here, where I'm able to forward those to our lead faculty who are then able to follow up with students and then create a relationship that brings them to become students here at the college. Our conversion rate has increased from 0.69% to 5.3%. Now, I do want to show you as an illustration also is our conversion rates from 2019 to illustrate this. If I could draw your attention to the bottom of the page, to the total campaigns that were done. And if you look there, you can see the 0.69%. You can see there's a drastic difference when we move over here to 2020 and what our click and conversion rates are. So this shows us actually those conversion rates. And this is what I'm looking at to see which ads are effective, which keywords are working, and then how to more effectively put ourselves in front of potential students for the future. And so we can see that that has had exponential growth as well. This next picture I'm going to show you here is actually our potential reach. So the blue line is from 2020, and then the green line is from 2019. So in 2020, you can see there's these spikes that go up. And what we're able to do is we're able to see who is talking about us and what their potential reach is, which means that I'm able to reach out to bloggers and influencers as well as media organizations and encourage them to write about our wind program, our renewable energy, our rodeo program, our ag business, all of the different programs that we have going on, and then, express that to them, and they're able to actually advertise those. These spikes coincide with the interviews that were done, whether it was on the news channel 4 or some of the outreach that we have done in the publications as well. And so they coincide with all of that. Our enrollment campaign, we saw a very significant difference. So in the fall, we put out postcards as we were completing the summer, moving into the fall. And the postcards, to have them mailed out and created, cost $1,730. And from that, we were able to enroll, early enrollment was 22 students. Now, for the spring, we did a very different campaign where we actually had a giveaway or a sweepstakes for iPad, and we encouraged people to register for classes or to apply for the first time. So in that Facebook program that we did, we had $269 that we invested. From that $269, we enrolled 59 students with early enrollment for the spring semester. So we saw a significant increase at a greater value in that situation as well. Now, this is a picture of what we did for our early enrollment. This was on Facebook. This is how we advertised and what that looked like. And again, the advertising plan in that situation was through email, encouraging current students to enroll early. We also had the radio, Facebook, and Instagram. Again, just to highlight, $269. And it was actually seen by 18,483 individuals. So online, I can actually see how many people viewed the actual advertisement. And then I click short hyperlinks that shows us how many people actually clicked to view our landing page, which was 128 out of the 18,000. And then from the 128, we had 36 times that the register for courses was clicked. So if they wanted to register for their course, which basically meant that they were going to sign up for classes. And then we had 27 times for new students to apply. And that correlated correctly with the number of students that we had registered for early enrollment. So that's what that looks like, and that's how that developed over time. So again, just highlighting there what that looks like, and then doing a comparison between what our acceptance rate has become. Those who clicked on the ad and committed to Mesa Lands was 46%. So if they clicked on the ad, then 46% of those people converted and became students or signed up for classes. 6% of the people who saw the ad showed interest, and so that helps us understand what's being effective. So in the future, I'd like to aim for a higher number of people who saw the ad or showed interest. I'd like to increase that number, of course. Well, all numbers, of course, we want to increase, but this helps me understand what's working, what's not working. So again, by August 10th, only 22 students had enrolled, whereas in the spring semester, we had a much higher enrollment for early enrollment. The Western Meat School was a great opportunity for us to see how this works and how effective social media and internet marketing can be. So the Western Meat School, we had 78 students total who enrolled, and 35 of those were dual students. This was a successful campaign for only 2.5 weeks, a total of 17 days. And out of those 17 days, we had a 41% acceptance rate, which means that those people that viewed the landing page, 41% of them actually enrolled. Here's a few of the numbers from the ad itself to give you an idea, monitoring the amount of clicks and views that we get, and then what that looks like as far as students who end up enrolling. So we had a very significant gain there due to that. So this is our summer postcard that we sent out in the mail. And again, this is just a comparison of what the postcard in the mail looked like and the effective rate for doing online marketing. This one is actually with our Facebook and Instagram. This was the ad that I put together for that, for people to click on. And then, of course, for our sweepstakes. And then this also is for Facebook and Instagram to encourage people for silversmithing to get involved as well. And we saw some great return on both of those. Our online and collection and communication, sorry, I'm trying to take too much time here, but Larry has been working very, helping me, and we've been working together very closely. And we've built a chat bot that's actually on the homepage of our website, which if a student doesn't have time, but they want to ask a question, they can leave their email, and then we can contact that student afterwards. It collects data and email addresses if the student volunteers and gives us that data or that information. But it's an easier way for them to ask questions and to get help and to leave that information with us. We've also added a CRM, which is a customer retention management software, which has been installed and developed to communicate leads for students. So whenever our recruiter goes out and collects email addresses, we can enter these into our CRM, and then that enables us to have constant communication with these students over a longer period of time, but also get to monitor where they're at in their journey to school. Have they made a decision yet? Are they making a decision? What are they looking for? Have they contacted lead faculty? Things like that. The CRM is really helping us to be able to communicate at that level. Larry has also enabled online registration and application so that students can register and apply online. All of this has been made possible, and it streamlines everything so that students can, within a few clicks, are able to begin their future careers. Also, payments in the future, due to the work that Larry has done, we're able to accept payments for like iron pour or other activities that we have, and that makes it easier for students to pay and to participate into the future as well through online purchases and registration. So all of this to help us understand a little bit more about how we collect the data. I wanted to show you this picture because the bottom right corner, this is our homepage. The bottom right corner shows you that little chat bot that's there. A lot of students have been asking questions just about registration and coming to the school and things like that. So it's been very, very effective in the past moving forward. The budget analysis is the last part that I want to talk to you about. And I just want to make you aware that as far as our budget goes, our budget currently consists of 0.47% of the total college operating budget. So that's what we're spending right now currently on marketing is 0.47%. What I did want to point out is that the national average of colleges and universities are usually between 1.5% to 6%. And that was, in 2010, it was 1% to 4%, but more recently, it's been 1.5% to 6% on the marketing budget. When you're investing into your marketing budget, that enables more opportunities for students to enroll, and ideally, it would be to increase your enrollment overall. And so just want to encourage you with those that maybe these are some goals that we can look forward to in the future. We're also very fortunate that Mesalands has been able to centralize the marketing under an individual that public relations, and so everyone comes through public relations so that we can have a consistent brand, a consistent message, and a consistent opportunity to communicate with our students, our vision, and connect with them with their needs as well. So that's been very important as well moving forward, and it's been very helpful to have a unified vision and a unified brand that we can communicate to students across all publications and all platforms as well. So that is what I wanted to share with you all tonight. And the last is the request, and I'm requesting a budget increase, if possible, of 25% to the marketing budget, which would take us from 0.47% to 0.49% overall operating budget. So as far as the overall operating budget, it's not a really big difference, but it would make a big difference in our opportunities to communicate our value to students and eventually increase our enrollment. So thank you very much for your time, and if you have any questions, I would be happy to answer. There's a lot of information.
Questions, anyone?
Josh, I think I'm pretty impressed with it. And of course, I still use a flip phone, so I'm easily impressed.
Well,
anyway, the 25% increase in budget, what would that basically go towards? I mean, what would that?
Oh, yes. I'm sorry. That's important to communicate. So the direction that we'd like to move in the future is more communication with students through social media platforms. And that's not exclusively with Facebook. We're talking about Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat. What this would do would enable us to have a platform where we could monitor the conversations on a personal level through their comments that they make. And so that would be very important. Also, this would enable us to advertise through YouTube, which we haven't really utilized yet, but we'd be able to put together videos and do more video marketing to students where they're at and be able to communicate with them the value of Mesalands through YouTube marketing and invest some dollars there.
Sounds impressive. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else have any questions? Natalie, what have you got to say?
Well, once again, I'll commend Josh for his excellent work, and I think his report shows the effectiveness of transitioning from the old model of mailing publications and using snail mail to using technology and social media platforms. So, job well done. Thank you, Josh, for all your hard work.
Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you, Josh.
Yes, thank you, Josh. That very good presentation, and yes, outstanding as far as return on the dollar. Outstanding. And I think that's something we really need to consider in the future, is what we're going to do there and how we're going to adjust that, and if we're going to be able to work that increase in. Okay. I guess, Natalie, Academic Affairs, we're still with you.
Okay. So I just wanted to give an update on our wild horse program that we're working on with the Carson National Forest Service, and we have an intergovernmental agreement. As the board knows, the board approved that agreement some time ago. So Dr. Mannion Seniors, Paul Leonard, and myself will be meeting with representatives of Carson National Forest on this coming Friday to move forward with our agreement. And so we will actually get to see the wild horses and just develop our plan to move forward the best we can, considering we're operating within the restrictions of the pandemic. So I just wanted to give you all an update on that.
Okay.
So somebody has their microphone on. Whoever does, maybe you can turn it off. We can hear the background noise.
Yeah, I don't know who that is either. Can't. But anyway, okay. Let's moving forward. Dr. Kennedy, Student Affairs.
Good evening, everybody. This is Dr. Kennedy, and I have the 2020 Fall Enrollment Report. So if you can turn to Exhibit 3, you can see for first, we'll go to the second one first, fall head count. We dropped from 887 the fall of 2019 to 709, and that was a drop of 20%. For FTE, we dropped from 346 to 280, and that's your first chart. And that was a 19% drop. And for fall credit hours, we dropped from 5,186 to 4,194, which was also a 19% decrease. And this was our first pandemic fall. Oh, let's hope the only and the last. I have done research and went on and looked at how other colleges and universities are doing. So overall, of all colleges and universities are down approximately 4%, but community colleges alone are down 13%. So community colleges got hit harder. School graduates that just graduated last spring entering into colleges dropped 22% across the nation, which I think we can all understand with parents and students. You know, it was fall was such a new thing. But I will say, on a positive note, our numbers for this spring are looking much better.
Okay. Well, that's good, I guess. We'll move on with administrative affairs. Miss Amanda Hammer.
Good evening. My name is Amanda Hammer, and the first item on the agenda is the monthly finance report, and that is Exhibit 4, and it is inside the notebook this month. Within that document, there are 3 exhibits. The first one is the budget summary report, and this is for the month of January with also year-to-date figures. For the month of January, we had revenues of $744,749. Expenses were $378,133. And year-to-date, we are ahead revenues over expenses so far of $389,064. The majority, or the reason why it's always bigger in January is because of all of the spring tuition and fees that we run at that time. And then Exhibit 2 is the certificate of deposit activity. For the month of January, we earned $125.83 in interest, and our year-to-date interest earned is $5,407.21. And then last is Exhibit 3, and that is the accounts payable check register. For the month of January, we were just under $100,000 at $99,852.44. If anyone has any questions, I will do my best to answer them tonight.
Okay, questions, anyone? If we don't have any questions, do we have a motion to approve the finance report as presented?
I so move.
Do we have
This is Tom, I'll second.
Okay. And roll call, please.
Ms. Estrada?
Yes.
Ms. Stevenson?
Yes.
Mr. Straitman?
Yes.
Mr. Sidwell?
Yes.
And Mr. Sandoval?
Yes.
Great. Thank you very much.
Okay, next on the agenda is the New Mexico Higher Education Quarterly Financial Certification Report. This is for our second quarter of the fiscal year, so as of December 31st, 2020. Basically, this is just stating that we are in good standing financially and we have not missed any payments to employees or debt service or any of our vendors, and we've made all of the appropriate retirement payments as well, and we have not had to ask for an advance of our state appropriation. And I do need approval for this.
Okay, do we have any questions? If we have no questions, do we have a motion to approve?
So move.
And do we have a second?
Liz Estrada, second.
Okay, Jimmy moved on that, Diane. Okay, roll call, please, Diane.
Ms. Stevenson.
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Streetman.
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Sidwell.
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Sandoval.
Yes.
Thank you. And Ms. Estrada.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Okay, my last exhibit for the night is a purchase requisition. It is Exhibit 6 in the book, and this is to CDWG. This is using some of the very beginning CARES monies in order to replace faculty laptops, and this will enable our faculty to provide distance ed better. They'll be able to do like Google Meets meetings like this, or even record lectures. And Larry can jump in if he has any more to add to that. But it will also bring in some of those faculty laptops that we will then have available for other employees to use either remotely or to replace outdated computers as well. The total of this purchase requisition is $32,640.73, and it does have the attached quote to it.
Okay, any questions? If we don't have any questions, do we have a motion to approve this purchase as presented?
Okay, so move. Jimmy.
Okay, Jimmy has moved. Do we have a second?
This is Tom. I'll second.
Okay, roll call, please, Diane.
Mr. Sidwell.
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Sandoval.
Yes.
Thank you. Ms. Estrada.
Yes.
Thank you. Ms. Stevenson.
Yes.
Thank you. And Mr. Streetman.
Yes.
Thank you.
Mr. Streetman, I will prepare these documents and send them for your electronic approval or electronic signature.
That will be fine. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay, I guess next on the agenda is our executive session. Do I have a motion to go into executive session for the items listed?
Liz Estrada, so move.
Okay, do we have a second?
This is Tom. I'll second.
Okay, everybody, Diane, roll call, please.
Mr. Sandoval. Mr. Sandoval.
Turn your mic on, Jimmy. Turn your mic on, Jimmy.
Your mic.
Give me just a moment. I'm working on it.
Oh, okay. There he is. Are you with us, Mr. Sandoval?
I don't know, am I?
There you are. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, yes.
All right. Thank you. Mr. Sidwell.
Yes.
Thank you. Ms. Estrada.
Yes.
Thank you. Ms. Stevenson.
Yes.
Thank you. And Mr. Streetman.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. I guess at this point, Natalie, I think you got to stay here with us. Is that not correct? Everybody else can drop off?
Yes. the message.
There we go. There's Amanda and Josh and institutional computing. That must be Larry. There's Dr. Kennedy. There's Diane. And I believe we've got everybody back on here now. Are we streaming, Larry?
Give me just a moment to make sure.
That's fine. Not going to hurry you, sir.
The stream is going again, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Very good. That being said, we've come out of executive session. We want to reconvene from executive session. So do I have a motion that we reconvene?
Teresa Stevenson, so moved.
Okay.
Jim, second.
Okay, Jimmy, a second. Do a roll call, Diane.
Mr. Streetman.
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Sidwell.
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Sandoval.
Yes.
Thank you. Ms. Estrada.
Yes.
Thank you. And Ms. Stevenson.
Yes.
Right. Thank you.
Okay. Well, at this point, all we've got is our board calendar, which is Exhibit 7 in the back of the handbook, and that just shows that our next meeting, it shows all the meetings for the rest of the year, but our next meeting will be March the 16th at 5:30 p.m. and gives the rest of the year also. Also has a Board of Trustees annual calendar of reports, which is Exhibit 8. There's no correspondence back there. There has Josh's presentation is back there. So that being said, unless anybody has anything, Liz. Okay.
No, sir. Nothing.
Okay, Jimmy.
Nothing. Just have a good day. I mean, a good afternoon.
Okay, Natalie.
I do not, thank you.
Okay, Tom.
I don't have anything.
Teresa.
Nothing.
Amanda.
No, sir. Stay warm.
Yes, ma'am. That's a good idea. Josh.
No, I'm good. Thank you very much.
Okay, Dr. Kennedy.
First day of spring is March 20th.
I think we got a few chilly days before that. But Diane, do you have anything to add?
Well, I don't, but I do have a question, Mr. Streetman.
Shoot.
I am a little green behind the gills. Did I have a computer glitch, or did we miss approving tonight's agenda?
I don't know. Did we?
I thought we
I
went
believe
through
it was
we-
the consent
No,
agenda.
We did miss it,
approved
yeah.
Yeah. Did we miss it?
Yes.
Yeah, we missed it.
We went straight to the consent agenda.
Oh, Lordy.
I'm sorry. I'm just trying to learn
No.
the ropes here.
No, you're going to have to stop me long before the end of the meeting. But I guess let's back this train up then. I know we're going to get laughed at pretty good here. Let's approve this agenda, and then we're going to close this agenda because we're done. Do I have a motion we get this agenda approved?
I make a motion, this is Tom, I make a motion, we approve the agenda.
Okay.
Second,
Sorry about
Jimmy.
that, folks. And I do apologize. Next time, please stop before we get this far along. Okay, roll call, please.
Yes. Mr. Sidwell.
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Sandoval.
Yes.
Thank you. Ms. Estrada.
Yes.
Thank you. Ms. Stevenson.
Yes.
Thank you. And Mr. Streetman.
Yes. And for your
Okay,
information,
thank you.
you are the person that keeps us in line. So you're the one
Okay.
pick up on this and stop us and keep us from going forward, because that was definitely Connie's job. And let me tell you what, to keep us in line sometimes can be a challenge. That being said, if nobody has anything else to offer this evening, we're going to call this meeting adjourned at 6:27. Everybody have a nice evening. Stay warm, stay safe. I'll see a couple of you tomorrow morning about 9 o'clock. Take care.
Right. Thank you.
All right. Good night.
Okay, good night.